through things really quickly, and any questions you can ask anyone else afterwards. So thanks for coming down. The first thing I want to point out is that we've got, in addition to the Model X, we've got 4 Model S betas out in the back, representing all 4 of the signature colors. It's really the first time ever we've had all 4 signature colors in the same place. So definitely take a few minutes after you, if you haven't done that already, to go check out the cars, sit inside and play with the touchscreen, see a couple of different interiors. The reason we're all standing here now is to actually see the Model X. And this is our design prototype. There's one of these on the planet, and it's right here. So this is a really exciting moment for everybody at Tesla and all the customers that we get to share the car with today. It is the only one of its kind, so we have to be a little bit sensitive with it. But other than that, you know, it's pretty much fully functional. And so a lot of you guys are kind of familiar with the cars we built so far. We had a 2-seater Roadster that's really fast, really sporty looking. We built more of a family-oriented, kind of sporty sedan. A lot of people want to know why we decided to build a bigger car like this. And I think that, you know, one of the main kind of motifs you'll find at Tesla is this idea of no compromise. When we looked at the market for SUVs and minivans, we saw a lot of compromise, we saw a lot of trade-offs. And so we figured we'd build a car that kind of bridges the gap between the minivan and the SUV market, kind of gives you the best of both worlds in the same vehicle. And so when we talk about trade-offs, you know, a lot of people that have owned SUVs and minivans, they know that the minivan is a lot of interior space, it's very functional for a big family, but it just doesn't look that good, it really doesn't drive that well. An SUV, on average, you know, looks a little bit better. It's very big on the outside, but not a whole lot of space inside the car. And so here we are with the Model X that kind of is really the hybrid between the two. One of the really cool features is what we call Falcon Wing doors. Sir, if you might want to step back. Now, a lot of you have seen Gull Wing doors before. You can actually see them right out there in that cool little DeLorean. But these are very different from Gull Wing. We actually call them Falcon Wing, and the difference is that there's a second hinge right up here that you can see that kind of articulates the doors in another direction. And the key with that is that the doors actually are able to lift straight up and then open outwards, rather than swinging outside the car. Meaning that if you're parked in a tight parking spot, these don't take up a whole lot of room as they open. So you can kind of lift them straight up and you won't ding the car next to you if you've got another car parked in the garage. These are kind of perfect. And what they actually allow you to do is they create this gigantic opening on the side of the car. So when you're talking about loading in people, when you're talking about trying to get back to the third row of seats, you'll notice the middle row, they all move kind of on their own independent track, they all fold independently. So really, really easy access to the third row seats. Troy over here has 2 twins on the way. So he's going to get really, really good at buckling in car seats. And rather than having to kind of twist his spine around, you know, face this way and then buckle him in on this side, he can actually just stand up inside the car, buckle his kids in, and get ready to drive. So very, very easy access to the car. Now we talk about trade-offs again. Another trade-off we're noticing in the SUV and minivan market now is that when you add the third row of seats, a lot of the time you lose all your trunk space in the back. And a normal car's got a lot of things in it. It's got a motor, it's got mufflers, it's got all sorts of parts that electric cars really don't have. We've got a completely flat battery pack that really lays the entire powertrain down underneath the vehicle. So you can see that even though we've got the third row, we have a ton of storage in the back. Something that Tesla does, in addition to having a lot of storage in the back, is we have no engine. So we have a frunk. This is a front trunk. And it's pretty sizable. This is basically just additional storage space, but a lot of the things that people think about when you leave your laptop in the car, you want your valuables out of sight. No thief will think to look in the engine compartment for your valuables. Also, this car we're going to be releasing with an option to add a second motor in the front of the car, creating an all-wheel drive vehicle. So you can take it, it's going to grip really, really well in the snow and on the ice. When you take it up to Tahoe, you can throw your dirty ski boots in the back and keep your clean clothes up front, kind of segregate those two from each other. And if you get the performance version of the all-wheel drive vehicle, it'll do 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. So it'll be able to handle a Porsche 911 on a 0 to 60 run, which is pretty cool for a car this big. So that's the basic idea. And again, I want to remind you about the Model S betas, and feel free to ask any of us Tesla employees if you have any specific questions about any of our vehicles. We're going to be doing another demo later on, but thanks for the time now, and feel free to ask any questions.
charging 90%, then you don't have that 10% there. No, I understand. So, yes, I believe that is the case. You only charge it to 90%.
So the mirror is actually, it does. We're actually going to show the norm.
So on your left side, behind you and around, if hopefully the laws catch up with technology, so we're integrating kind of the newest technology into vehicles, hoping that safety that we'll be able to have that. So there's no issue, no blind spot. You don't have to turn this way. I'm sure that that's going to change. I think the answer to it is there's a hinge there, there's a hinge there. So our design prototype, we're going to have sensors, right? Kids all the time. So there's a lot of things that we'll do with testing on it for the next few years. This isn't even an alpha prototype, this is just a design. So our alpha prototype has
we're a little constrained in that we're ramping up production pretty aggressively and making cars on the road.
This car can drive, goes out the door, this car right now. It's all open area.
This car's going to be what you out to like over time. Find out what they yeah, those actually
Yeah, so my